They were once the brightest lights in Hollywood, faces that defined an era, voices that echoed through packed theaters, smiles that promised endless tomorrows. But fame, especially when it arrives before you've lost your first tooth, carries a weight that few shoulders can bear. What follows are 15 stories of vanishing. Some ended in tragedy, others in choice. All of them reveal the shadowed price of childhood stardom, a bill that comes due when the cameras stop rolling and the world moves on. 1. Bobby Driscoll.
Oh, he knoweth every sparrow that falleth.
The boy who became Peter Pan, then disappeared. Disney didn't just hire Bobby Driscoll. They made him a promise. The first child star under contract. The living voice of Peter Pan, the golden-haired boy who would never grow up. Except he did. By 12, he'd already won a Juvenile Academy Award. Walt Disney himself called him the living embodiment of his most beloved characters. But adolescence is cruel to those whose value depends on eternal innocence. When acne replaced cherubic cheeks, Disney's doors closed without ceremony. The contract was terminated. The boy who voiced a character that never aged was suddenly too old. What came after is almost unbearable to recount. Drugs, desperation, petty crimes committed by hands that once held Oscar statuettes. His final act played out far from Hollywood, in an abandoned tenement in New York City. In 1968, children playing in that deserted building discovered a body. No identification. No one came forward. The boy who brought joy to millions was buried in an unmarked grave on Hart Island, among the unknown and unwanted. His mother had been searching for him. It took nearly 2 years for fingerprints to reveal the truth. The anonymous corpse was Bobby Driscoll, Peter Pan himself, buried in a pauper's field at 31. The boy who never grew up, died alone, forgotten, unmourned. 2. Margaret O'Brien, the girl with tears on command. They called her the little girl with the big tears. Directors marveled at her gift, the ability to summon authentic grief within seconds. At 7, she stood beside Judy Garland in Meet Me in St. Louis, delivering a performance so devastating that Garland reportedly whispered, "That child is frightening me." Her emotional range made her MGM's most valuable asset throughout the 1940s. She cried for a nation at war, offering catharsis wrapped in innocence. But time is merciless to those who profit from youth. As O'Brien's childhood slipped away, so did the phone calls, the scripts, the roles. The transition from prodigy to adult actress proved impossible. By the 1950s, the studios that once competed for her services had moved on to younger tiers. She survived, unlike some. But survival isn't the same as thriving. Occasional television appearances, forgotten films, the slow fade into obscurity. Today she appears rarely at classic film festivals, a living ghost, walking through a Hollywood that no longer remembers her name. America wept with her, then forgot her completely. 3. Jane Withers. From Shirley Temple's rival to selling cleanser.
You can make a success in the city, couldn't you?
Could I? Jean-Paul Baptiste didn't make success anywhere, only
He doesn't want to go, but
While Shirley Temple embodied sweetness, Jane Withers was the antidote, the mischievous troublemaker who stole scenes through sheer personality. After tormenting Temple in Bright Eyes, she built her own empire. 38 films before age 21, her own doll line, genuine stardom. Then adolescence arrived, and with it the end of her contract. The girl who once rivaled Temple found herself in B-movies, then supporting roles, then nothing. The final indignity came in the 1960s. Josephine the plumber, hawking Comet cleanser in television commercials. From leading lady to pitchwoman, the descent was complete. She lived to 95, dying in 2021, but her career had ended decades earlier. From stealing scenes to scrubbing sinks, Hollywood's cruel mathematics made flesh. 4. Scotty Beckett, the little rascal who died at 38.
Hey, I've been looking all over for
That sideways baseball cap. That infectious grin. Scotty Beckett was America's favorite little rascal, the boy who made the nation laugh throughout the Depression. Unlike most child stars, he initially succeeded in transitioning to teen roles. King's Row, The Jolson Story. The curse seemed beaten. But behind the smile, something was breaking. Multiple marriages dissolved. Money vanished. Arrests accumulated. Drugs, bad checks, assault. The boy who embodied joy became a man drowning in chaos. In 1968, after yet another arrest, Beckett checked into a nursing home following an injury. 2 days later, he was found dead, 38 years old. Official cause, overdose. But questions linger about those final hours. The contrast haunts. The child who made millions laugh, gone before 40. Another casualty of a fame that arrived too early and left too soon. 5. Peggy Ann Garner. The prodigy Hollywood forgot.
Haven't you got just one little wish for yourself? Just one wish, just for you.
Well, did you see it, Papa?
What?
Out the window. Our tree, they've killed it.
Some child stars charm through cuteness. Peggy Ann Garner possessed something rarer. Genuine dramatic depth. Her performance in A Tree Grows in Brooklyn earned universal acclaim. Critics compared her favorably to adult actors decades her senior. At 13, she won a Juvenile Academy Award. Director Elia Kazan praised her intuitive understanding of character. The future seemed limitless. It wasn't. As she entered her late teens, the offers stopped. The girl once hailed as one of cinema's most natural talents couldn't land major roles. Unlike Elizabeth Taylor or Natalie Wood, who navigated the transition to adult stardom, Garner found herself increasingly irrelevant. She became a real estate agent, a fleet car saleswoman. Occasional television bit parts kept the dream barely alive, but Hollywood had moved on. When cancer took her at 52, few noticed. The performer once considered among the most promising of her generation passed almost in silence. They called her brilliant. Hollywood never called her back. 6. Roddy McDowall. The star who chose the shadows.
Oh, Josephine, I can't walk around in that silent. Kids will laugh. But it has a very important message.
With his British accent and mature presence, Roddy McDowall seemed destined for lasting stardom. How Green Was My Valley, Lassie Come Home, teen heartthrob roles. He was navigating the treacherous transition that destroyed so many others. Then something curious happened. He stepped back, while continuing to work, often hidden under elaborate makeup in films like Planet of the Apes. McDowall developed a parallel life as a photographer. His celebrity portraits revealed an artist's eye as sharp as his acting instincts. He became known within Hollywood circles but forgotten by the public that once adored him. When he died in 1998, many were shocked to learn the former child star had been there all along, working behind the scenes, chronicling the industry that had once made him famous. He grew up in front of the camera, then vanished behind it, finding in photography the fulfillment that acting no longer provided. 7. Brandon DeWilde. Shane Come Back.
My name is Hugo. Hugo what? Just Hugo. That's all they ever call.
Shane, Come Back. That desperate cry from an 11-year-old boy at the end of Shane became one of cinema's most haunting moments. The performance earned Brandon DeWilde an Academy Award nomination, one of the youngest in Oscar history. He wasn't manufactured, he was natural. Critics praised his authenticity, his innate understanding of character. Follow-up performances in HUD alongside Paul Newman suggested he might beat the child star curse entirely. Then July 6, 1972, a van, a parked truck, Denver, Colorado. DeWilde died from his injuries at 30. His promising career extinguished in an instant. The boy who begged Shane not to leave had himself departed far too soon. The tragedy isn't just his death. It's the performances we'll never see, the career that was just beginning to fully bloom when fate intervened. 8. Jackie Coogan. Hollywood's first child millionaire. Before them all, there was Jackie Coogan. Charlie Chaplin discovered him in vaudeville and cast the 5-year-old in The Kid. The world wept. Coogan mania swept the globe. Toys, clothing lines, merchandising that generated millions, when millions actually meant something. By the time he reached adolescence, he'd earned approximately $4 million, over $60 million in today's currency. Hollywood's first child empire. Then he turned 21 and asked for his fortune. It was gone. His mother and stepfather had spent nearly everything. Under California law, at the time, a child's earnings belonged to the parents. The bitter court battle that followed resulted in the Coogan Law to protect future child actors, but recovered only a fraction of his lost wealth. His career never recovered. Brief renewed fame as Uncle Fester in the Addams Family couldn't erase the betrayal. The child who changed Hollywood law forever couldn't save himself from exploitation by those who should have protected him most. He made America cry, then was robbed by his own parents. 9. Shirley Temple, the one who got away. No child star burned brighter. At 6, she was America's top box office draw, not just among children, but she saved Fox Film Corporation from bankruptcy. President Roosevelt credited her with lifting the nation's spirits during the Depression. But as adolescence approached, audiences turned away. The girl permanently frozen in their imaginations as an adorable child couldn't make the transition to teenager. By 22, after 43 films, she walked away. What happened next defied every expectation. Instead of desperately clinging to fame or spiraling into tragedy, Temple reinvented herself completely. She became a diplomat, U.S. ambassador to Ghana and Czechoslovakia. Younger generations had no idea the distinguished stateswoman had once been the world's most famous child. When she died in 2014, at 85, she'd spent far more of her life as a diplomat than an actress. She danced her way out of Hollywood and never looked back. The rare child star who escaped unscathed, on her own terms.
That was today's story under the silent spotlight. If you enjoyed uncovering Hollywood's forgotten past, leave a like and subscribe for more vintage tragedies, mysteries, and untold legends. Until next time, keep the reel turning.